Hi, it's Leslie from Innerji, Tarot Tea Astrology and all things metaphysical. So today I'm doing something a little different. I'm doing a VR to Renee at Meadowlark about rainbow decks. And so what this is about is looking at decks that represent each of the colours of the rainbow. And I'm going to add in an extra deck. I'm going to add in for the colour white, because the colour white contains all the other colours of the rainbow. So let's start with blood red. So for my blood red tarot deck, I have chosen the Vampire Tarot by Robert M. Place. And this deck is actually now out of print. You can't get it anymore, and it does sell for really high prices on eBay and in private tarot swap groups. Let's have a look. So this deck was created by Robert M. Place, as I said, and it's based on the story of Bram Stoker's Dracula. And so here's the first card, and this is the King of Garlic Flowers, which in the RWS deck would equate to the suit of Pentacles. So I think it's a nice homage to Bram Stoker that he is the King of Garlic Flowers. And this is swords. I really like this one. This is the Four of Swords, Memento Mori. And it's about remembering those who've passed. And I really like the skull at the bottom. I have a tendency to use this type of deck for more shadow work when I want to look at the darker side of what's going on with me. And this is our Six of Pentacles, which in the RWS shows the gentleman with the scales and generously giving money to one of the beggars. And here we have the arm placed forward for Mina so that she may feed. Judgment. I love this Judgment card. Really good. He looks like a very cool dude, doesn't he? Could even be a zombie. We have the Ace of Wands. I really like this Ace of Wands with a little bit of blood dripping off the bottom. Very dark card. You need to have scary music while you're looking at these, don't you? And then we have the Ten of Wands. And you just see the hand just sneaking out of the coffin. I love this Magician card. Get the light right for you. I love this Magician card. The moon is his sun in a sense. That's where his life is. And then the Lovers. Wow. Intense lovers. And the Tower. And finally, out of the deck that I'm showing you, Jay, is the Star. I love this. He's just had his dinner. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't be frivolous with it. But that is the deck that I have chosen for the red colour of the rainbow. Now let's move on to orange. So for orange, I have chosen a standard Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but this deck is a little different. This is the mini version. I do have the big version as well. But this deck actually has the crackle backs that were on the original 1910 Rider-Waite deck, of course, with the artwork by Pamela Coleman Smith. So I kind of liked this deck because of the crackling, and it does look kind of an orangey brown, doesn't it? Now I'm sure you know this deck really well, so I'm not going to show you all. But I chose this as my orange deck mainly because of the backs. And I must admit, my go-to reading deck is an RWS deck when I'm reading for clients. It's the modern classic, isn't it, when you compare it to the modern decks of today? But I still love it, and even though I love all the modern decks that are out there, the RWS is very, very close to my heart. So speaking of being close to my heart, let's move on to yellow. In my case, a bit of bling, a bit of gold. So this is the Black and Gold Tarot deck. And the backs are sort of an aged gold look. There's no bling on the back, but wait till you turn them over. Bling plus. So this is black and gold. So you'll notice there are no colors other than the gold gilding or the gold embossing and the black. Really like this deck. We've got the 10 of Wands. This is a deck that I would prefer to use at night. You know, have a low lamp that is shining down on the deck to get all that bling happening while I interpret. So this is my deck that represents yellow, or in my case, gold. So let's move on. So we've done red, orange, yellow. Let's move on to green. So for green, I have chosen Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot deck with its green box. So this is a deck I don't actually read with. I am a tarot collector as well as a professional reader. But I actually bought this because A, it's classic, and B, I am a collector and I wanted to have a Thoth deck in my collection. So as you can see, this is the green background. I really like the designs in this deck. I really like the imagery. When I look at the imagery of this deck, I actually like to use this more as a meditation deck rather than a reading deck, because the images are so interesting that I find meditating on them can take me deep into the card and take me deep into meditation. The card of sorrow. Beautiful orange against the green background there. And here we have the Princess of Swords. She is definitely ready to defend herself. So that is my green deck. Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot deck. And of course, like the Rider-Waite, one of the classic. Now for my blue deck, I have moved away from tarot and gone into Oracle, and this is the Astro Soul Oracle deck. Now I am an astrologer as well as tarot reader, so I don't use these cards for divination so much, but I do use them as place markers when I'm talking about astrology. And look at the backs here, I love those. And they're very simply done. They have cards representing the relationships or the aspects that planets have. They have the different planets, beautiful moon card. Again, we've got a little bit of gold there. We have the signs, or the 12 signs. So that represents Aries. There's Aquarius. So I like to use these cards in combination with tarot readings. So this is Mars, the god of war. Look at the helmet. And I find them really helpful. So in tarot, I was talking about aspects. This is where one planet is in opposition to the other. In other words, in the skies, the planets are opposite each other. Beautiful Venus. The cardstock in this deck is just lovely. It's quite, it's got that, what everyone describes as that rose petal feel. It's sort of soft and matte, just gorgeous. We also have the nodes from astrology. That's the North Node. That's where you're headed, what you're aspiring to. So that is my blue deck, the Astro Soul Oracle deck. And so for my purple deck, I have chosen another oracle, Beyond Lemuria by Izzy Ivy. The artwork in this deck is gorgeous. I love the back, so that beautiful purple fading into a little bit of blue, pink and white. And this is such a simple deck to use as an oracle deck, I've found, but the artwork is just incredible. This is the Internal Explorer. The Infinite. The artwork in this deck is so intricate, I find, and so I also use this as a meditation deck as well. You know, I pick a card to meditate on, And if there's a subject matter that I want to meditate on, I will look through the deck and look at the keywords and see if there's anything that marries up with my meditation. And then that's the deck that I use for my focus. Look at this, loving compassion. Absolutely stunning. What else have we got here? The Realm Bridger. Just beautiful, beautiful artwork. And finally, the last card I'll show you today, Awakened Awareness. Look at that eye in the center. So beyond Lemuria Oracle deck is my purple deck in our rainbow. So we've done all the colors, but as I said in the beginning, I also wanted to include the color white because all colors are found in white. White light, when it goes through a glass prism, will break up into the colors of the rainbow. So what would be a more appropriate deck for the white deck with all the colors? Ta-da! The Tripping Weight Tarot. Just brilliant. The backs of these are so psychedelic. I love the 60s. Yes, I was a child in the 60s and loved that era, loved that music. But look at those. Talk about rainbow colors. And the cards themselves are just as psychedelic, just as amazing. All the colors of the rainbow. I absolutely love the Six of Cups. Look at all the rainbows in the background. This is a great deck to read with. I like to use this deck if, say I'm doing a tarot party and we're looking at lighter, fun readings in a group situation, rather than serious one-on-one questions. Although this deck is really good for doing the serious questions as well, because it can sort of just bring a bit of light visual relief when you're looking at something that's serious in nature. Queen of Pentacles, Miss Groovy. And I have to find for you my favorite card in this particular deck. It is just so awesome. I should have got it out earlier for you, but it will be worth the wait for you, I hope, of me finding it. And there it is. I love this. The Guru instead of the Hierophant. Just brilliant. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this VR. I look forward to doing more of these. Just a reminder that I have placed the link to Meadowlark's video on the rainbow deck in the comments below underneath this video. So until next time, namaste.